So welcome everyone, SandDAO podcast number 47. Today we will be doing a text-based interview of Biversenart.eth. It's going to be text-based, as I mentioned. We're doing this via text back and forth. I asked the questions and then Biversenart answered. So I'll be reading Biversenart's answers. This is a meet and greet with Biversenart and a learning opportunity for the SandFam voters to decide if Biversenart is the right fit for you as your delegate. I do not represent the Sandbox Game or the Sandbox DAO Foundation. As a disclaimer, I am not your financial or legal advisor, and nothing I say is to be taken as financial or legal advice. When I say the word SIP, I mean Sandbox Improvement Proposal. When I say the word DAO, I'm talking about a decentralized autonomous organization. And when I use the word SandFam, I'm talking about the Sandbox community who participate in the people, product, and purpose of the Sandbox ecosystem. That ecosystem of the three sectors that for myself, to understand better, that I put together was the people, which are everything from the gamers to the Sandbox team, the product, which is everything from the game client to the game maker, to include the DAO, and purpose, which was what was listed in the original white paper, plus the things that the co-founders and leadership of the Sandbox have been saying as part of their vision. All that together equals the ecosystem, and this episode is about that one down there in the bottom left, the DAO delegate under the people sector. The scoreboard and the checkbook have not moved because the DAO team has been hard at work at ensuring the delegation system comes online. And I saw a forum post or a message saying that they will return to SIPs November 27th, which is next Wednesday. So where did all this start? It started May 28th. The DAO was announced via Medium article, and the three SIPs were immediately put to vote so that we could launch the DAO. September 10th, fast forward to September 10th, the Sandbox DAO admin team opens up delegation applications for the community to apply. And they went through a application process, an interview process, and then a downward selection process. And then November 13th, which was just 9 days ago, 12 delegates were announced. We are interviewing our 9th delegate, which is Biversenart. Awesome profile picture. One of the coolest. I really want to know what this profile picture is because it's like a multicolored chroma robot looking thing. So it looks awesome. But Biversenart spelled Biversenart.eth. So when you're looking at the delegate, that's what you'll see, the delegation page. And I have it down listed, shown that way. That way. Look down on the screen and you'll see Biversenart at the bottom, and it looks like that. But we'll be going over that in detail today. I'm your host, Lanzer, and I'm the podcast host for SandDAO. Also, I'm the president of the MetaWorlds group. We have, as of right now, 10 SIPs that we put as SIP ideas, and we've submitted 6 or 8 of them now to the DAO admin team. So I just got word that one of them will be proceeding through the remaining portion of the review phase. So you'll be seeing one of my SIPs for the second time, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm pretty excited. The ones that windows resizing, SIP number 1 was SIP number 14. It did not make quorum. Then the roadmap is going to be an internal product feature request. In-game inventory filter may go through to vote, as will DAO revenue option study and the SandDAO podcast and the Builders Challenge working group. So I'm pretty excited about that. So let's get into our interview with Biversenart. I asked Biversenart a series of questions, pretty much same or similar questions that I've asked already. And here are Biversenart's answers. So I asked Biversenart, can you please share a little bit about your background? Biversenart shared quite a bit of his background, and him or hers background, and I was very appreciative of that. So Biversenart wrote, I used to do graphic design and post-production work. In 2015, I entered the cryptocurrency industry. I realized that blockchain technology was the future and discovered Sandbox about 4 years ago. After spending some time with game making tools, we founded Yitsimjam, Jam Game Studio with Pure Tiger. So let's go to this. All right, so Jam Game Studio, you can automatically see in their banner some recognizable experiences. So looks like they developed Color Catch and also Dream with Steve Aoki. So pretty cool. They're a Sandbox trusted partner, and it looks like, see how many experience they have on their profile page. There's Jam right there. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 experiences, of which Color Catch is in 0, as Alpha Season 4. They're also a landowner and quite a number of assets. Excellent. Okay, moving on. Biversenart continued to write, I am now a game maker at Jam Game. I am an Alpha Season 4 ambassador. Cool, congratulations. I have been a game maker tester since version 9. I prepared Sandbox Turkey training set, and by Turkey, I'm quite certain that Biversenart means the country Turkey, of which I did say here eventually where, yes. So if you look on the delegation page, you'll see that Biversenart is listed as being from Turkey, which is now known as Turkey. They changed their name of, or I guess verified and revalidated the way they want to be spoken of just a couple years ago. So I prepared Sandbox Turkey training set. So it looks like a training set that was meant and maybe translated into Turkish. I gave Game Maker and Vox Edit trainings on Sandbox Turkey Twitch channel. I was an instructor in Sandbox Turkey's hackathons and a juror in game competitions. I placed first twice in the Sandbox #Saturday screenshot event. Nice. I have various degrees and 12 game jam competitions under the name of Studio. I think he means Game Studio, perhaps. 2 of our games were selected for Alpha Season 4. So Color Catch and Newborn Retribution. So let's take a look at Newborn Retribution. So here is Newborn Retribution. Oh, around here somewhere. Let's see if we can. There it is. So there's Newborn Retribution. It was selected for Alpha Season 4 as well. And let's see, it looks like a kind of like a fighting arena style game. Oh, fighting arena and dodging discs that get thrown at you. Cool. And then Color Catch. Color Catch is quite a, depending on your point of view, really fun or really frustrating. But here you are, you have to try and jump on the color that it says going to, on all the other colors disappear, and you continue going up and up and up until you get all the way to the top. So pretty easy concept, but it is much, much harder than it looks. There you go. Someone just fell right there. I have fallen so many times in Color Catch, but it is no doubt a very interesting game. Okay, and continuing on with the background, I also try to help people in the community with Game Maker and Vox Edit as much as I can. And then Biversenart also gave me Sandstorm profile. So if you go to the Sandstorm profiles, you'll see a ton of artwork. So much artwork that Biversenart has made, which is unsurprising given that Biversenart said that they are Game Maker and Vox Edit and with a game studio. So pretty cool looking stuff. Okay, and that is Biversenart's background. So let's go to the next question. When did you become SandFam? Biversenart answered, February 2020. I knew old 2D mobile sandbox since 2015. When they entered the crypto sector in 2018, my interest increased. Okay. What has been your involvement in the sandbox community? Biversenart wrote, I've been in the industry. I've also wanted to make games. I don't have skills like Unity and Unreal. When I saw sandbox tools, I discovered that I could fulfill this desire. People started to like what I was building. That's how I met the community and got involved. And we just went over the Sandstorm profile and color catch, but also I noticed that there was a tweet mentioning Biversenart playing a game called Flappy Coffee. Looks kind of like a side scroller. So kind of cool. All right, so that's question number 3. Let's go to question number 4. What was your motivation for applying to be a delegate? Biversenart wrote, to do something for the Turkish community and to increase the productivity of the sandbox ecosystem. Question 5. Snapshot shows no voting history. So when you look at the voting history here, you'll see that there's no voting. There's Biversenart's, looks like motto, stay free, stay true. And I asked, have you voted in a DAO before? But Biversenart said, yes, I have voted in other DAO systems before, like Slingshot. I am very active as a sandbox ecosystem as a builder, preparing for Builders Challenge, Mogaverse, and Alpha Season 4 events. I haven't had enough time for the Sandbox DAO. I will just start exploring the Sandbox DAO. Okay, so it looks like most of Biversenart's time has been spent in a Builders Challenge, and I can definitely understand that, having been in Builders Challenge 1 myself. It takes up a lot of time and effort. So Builders Challenge 2 happened while the DAO was happening, so it makes sense that a lot of time and effort went to Builders Challenge 2. And question 6. How do you intend to approach voting yes, no, and abstain? Biversenart wrote, it depends on what the issue is about and its importance. I respect everyone's decision. And a lot of the other delegates said something similar. How many of them said that I have an open mind. I don't want to go into this saying that this is what I will and will not support unless I have to. But I wanna be open to the community and what they want to try and submit proposals for. So this seems to be very similar to that regard. All right, question 7. Are you involved in any other DAOs? Biversenart wrote, yes, I've been involved in blockchain technologies for a long time. It's not without minting NFTs, using Swapper Bridge, voting in DAOs, paying high gas fees, trading, and getting hacked or losing wallets a few times. And he put a smiley face after that. Okay. Question 8. From your delegate description, what is the significance of stay free, stay true? Biversenart wrote, the two things a person should have, freedom and being true. So look the way you are and live the way you want. Question 9. From your delegate description, how many events have you organized and who through? Biversenart wrote, as Yitsim Game Jam Studio, We organize events related to our Sandbox experiences and distribute prizes. We also get involved in Sandbox DAO's events or become a participant to help organize the event. For example, in the last hackathon, I was both an instructor and a jury member. I trained more than 60 people for 3 days almost nonstop. Wow, that's impressive, Biversenart. We currently have a Sandbox training camp project for Turkey, but we are working on the details. Biversenart won't be able to propose a SIP, so Biversenart's going to have to work out the details. And that's probably what Biversenart means when he says, but we are working on the details. Question number 10. From your delegate description, what kind of voice do you want to be? Biversenart says, baritone. Biversenart also wrote, and it seemed like Biversenart was joking, like a singing voice, but also wrote, as well as suggestions that make sense and improve the ecosystem against others. Question 11 was, what kind of delegate do you want to be known as? Biversenart wrote, we will learn together in time. Question 12, what sort of SIPs do you not support? Biversenart wrote, I do not support all SIPs that will contribute nothing to the Sandbox ecosystem. Question 13, what type of SandFam voter best fits your delegation style? Biversenart wrote, everyone who contributes to the ecosystem in the same way and wants to improve it, because that's what I do. Question 14, what was the delegate process like for you? Biversenart wrote, I applied. A short interview afterwards, and then one day I got an email in my mailbox saying I became a delegate. Question 15. Does the 2 million gifted voting power change your perspective or process? Biversenart wrote, do I have such a gift? Good opportunity to become a dictator. Clearly joking with the smiley, tongue sticking out face. Biversenart wrote, I really don't know. As I said, I couldn't look because I was very busy, but even if it's 100 million, it doesn't change much for me. So same voting principles, no matter whether it's 1 voting power or 100 million voting power. And the last question, question 16, have you had to sign any additional agreements to be a delegate? Biversenart said no. And that will conclude our last question. I don't see any community questions. I have no open topics. And we are about to conclude our 47th episode with Biversenart. So Biversenart and everyone else, the Sandbox bases to gather is in the Discord, Sandbox Discord, under the DAO discussion channel. There's also the Sandbox DAO forums, as well as X and Twitter accounts. Hashtag the SandFam, hashtag SandFam, hashtag the Sandbox DAO, hashtag the Sandbox Game. That's what most of us use when we tweet. And then on YouTube, there's at the Sandbox DAO for the Sandbox DAO podcast, the official one. Then there's at Lanzer YT, which is the SandDAO podcast that you're listening to now. And there's at SandFam Cafe, which is a monthly panel of recent events or interesting stories, usually hosted by Bruno, also known as Pickaxe Master. On Mondays, Twitter Spaces, in X and Twitter Spaces, on Mondays, there's Mochaverse Hall. On Saturdays, there's Bulls on the Block. Monday through Friday is Coffee with Captain, and that's at Chris Jordan, Jourdan. And then on Tuesdays is Natively Digital with at Whale members. So check that out, delegates. Those are some places where SandFam will gather. There's a lot of overlap between us and different communities. So take a look at that, and there might be some good opportunity to introduce yourself further and talk about what you want to do as a delegate. Okay, thank you all very much for your time. This was SandDAO Podcast 47, a text-based interview with Biversenart.eth. Biversenart is from Turkey, also known as Turkey, and is has been a big builder in Vox Editor for quite some time, having helped build some of the most popular ones nowadays, like Color Catch. And that's SandDAO Podcast 47. Thank you. All right. We're going to switch over now to podcast number 48. And then we will do the same thing with Hishmad. So give me just a second and I will be right back.